Hey, what's up? It's Richie. We're here with a open video for the Cup car, the next gen Cup car at Richmond Speedway. So yeah, Richmond, one of my favorite racetracks. Probably my top two racetracks that anybody goes to. Definitely a favorite here. So anyway, so we're here at Richmond a open. I'm running my setups here. You can run your setups here. All I'm really looking to do is kind of show you what you're looking for to be able to run a decent time here at Richmond. So anyway, let's take a look at the AccuWeather forecast. It's mostly cloudy. Believe it started in the afternoon here. Track surface is at 102 degrees. Air temperatures at 77.6 degrees, 33% humidity, an 8-mile-an-hour wind that's south. And there's no fog. So again, I'm not going to go into setups in this video. It's more about just the racing line itself. So let's take a look at the qualifying lap. All right, so let's take a look at the qualifying lap here. We're going to head out. We're going to watch the qualifying session here, and then we'll go through it in a little bit in detail. So much like most of the tracks that I do qualifying for, this is a second lap qualifying attempt for me. A lot of these open setups just tend to be too loose on the first lap, and I just can't get the power down like I'd like to. So I use this first lap just to get some tires, heating the tires, some grip level up a little bit before we go ahead and throw the power down for the second lap. So running pretty much the same line I would in qualifying, just trying not to overly heat up the tires. We're going to go down here in 3 and 4. We're going to go way high up here so we can get that nice big run down the front straightaway. We're going to stay high. We're getting a nice big huge run down the down the front stretch here into 1. Roll into 1 and 2 here. Nice and smooth. Pick up the throttle as much as you can. You see I do get loose there. Welcome to Richmond. Down on the apron, and then back to the throttle as quickly as we can. All right, so that was a 22.073. I know guys are out there running faster than that. This isn't about how fast we can actually go. It's more about just kind of giving you the driving line that I use here at Richmond. I've had a couple of people ask me, you know, how do I run Richmond? And this is how I do it. So anyway, all right. So again, we're going to go back actually a little bit further in this. We're going to go down into 3 and 4 here. Mainly you'll see that I stay way up here, way up against the fence here, and try to keep as much throttle in it as possible to get the huge run down the front stretch. This run, people don't realize that this run can give you 2 to 3 hundredths of a second per lap, maybe even almost up to 5 hundredths of a second faster by running through 3 and 4 on the high side there to get this run. So it is very key to running a good qualifying lap to pick up time by running through 3 and 4 there. So Richmond with the Cup car, following along the fence here, very important, otherwise you run into it. But you'll see that I lift and brake. So there's dashes here, right? There's these dashes right here. One's here, one's here. I'm lifting and braking before I get, or right as I get to that second to last dash, right? So here's your last dash up here. Here's my second dash right there. And that is where I'm lifting and braking to get down in the corner. Now Richmond, because it's a short track, everybody thinks you use a lot of brake here. But as you see here, not using a ton of brake, maybe 35–40% right there. Brake getting down into the corner, and we just roll down into the corner. And what I'm looking to do here is follow this trajectory down and then cut and come off. So I'm not going to go all the way to the yellow line right here. I'm going to go down to about here, which is about a half a groove up. The yellow line's down here. We're up here. So what we're looking to do is, you see this dark area of the track. We want to be down towards this dark area of the racetrack. Still trail braking down into the middle of the corner here. You trail brake all the way down here. Put as much wheel in it as we can to basically turn now and come off the corner on a diagonal. And we're not going to follow it off the corner. We're going to come off and come as straight across as we possibly can. Basically getting and making this straightaway as straight as possible. So we're going to start to pick up the throttle here. And you could see that I'm turning down. Now we're actually on the yellow line. We're not above it anymore. So we've made that turn to be able to come off. And when you do this, this is where you technically will always get loose here at Richmond. And it's just a matter of how much. And you'll see that I get completely loose, almost sideways coming off this corner. In order to battle that, I am all the way over here, turning all the way to the right, and I've lifted off the throttle. Could this 20.0 have been a 21-second lap? Absolutely. Point of the matter is I'm not really, again, worried about time here. What I'm worried about is trying to show you how to come up, where the line is. So once you get straight and you're heading down the straightaway here, which again can be very difficult at Richmond, we're looking for our next mark to get in the corner. So this is, believe it or not, turn 3 and 4 is one of the most important, is the most important corner here at Richmond. So 1 and 2, there's probably 50 different ways to get through 1 and 2 and be able to make a decent lap. You can go in higher, cut across, you could go on the bottom, you could stay up top. 1 and 2 is a very variable corner. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get through 1 and 2 and be good. 3 and 4, there's basically one way to get through 3 and 4 and maximize your time. And that is to get to the yellow line and stay on the yellow line until you're ready to come out of the turn in turn 4. If you are not staying on that yellow line, you're scrubbing speed and you're not going to be as fast as some of the other guys around you. So let's take a look-see as we go down the backstretch here. Start to turn. Turn in and brake right around the same time, and you'll see this black section right here. There's these stripes again on the wall, and I go to the very first stripe. Boom, brake, a little bit more brake going into 3. Completely out of the throttle, a little bit of brake, turn down. You see it got a little loose there. Turn down to the yellow line, and you want to use your brake to keep you on the yellow line as you're here in the middle. And you can see I'm actually up a little bit higher than I'd like to be. Actually, I'd like to be a little bit lower. But you want to stay as close to this yellow line as you possibly can. You want the car to roll around right here, and then you start to pick up the throttle, and you're down here on the bottom. I see so many guys up here coming out of the corner backwards or heading towards the fence. And all you're doing is taking speed away up there. Down here on the yellow line, this is the key to Richmond right here. Staying down there as much as you can coming out of the corner. You can see I'm almost to the start zone before I even start to come up on the racetrack. And I'm also not full throttle yet. So a lot of times guys are full throttle and they're backwards or they're heading towards the fence. And that's one of the reasons why you guys are all the way up here instead of down here coming out of the corner. And that's where you're scrubbing speed off. So onto the straightaway when I feel like I have the car underneath me, because it's very, very tricky and loose there. I go ahead full throttle. You can see it. I'm not full throttle till I'm here. I'm partial throttle. I'm still picking up speed. I'm doing 117 miles an hour. But I'm not full throttle yet, because when you put the throttle down too early, that's when the car gets really super loose. Down the straightaway, following the curve, and basically that is the qualifying lap here at Richmond Speedway. All right, let's take a look-see at some race laps here. I did a 30 lap run here. I am on lap 3. Reason why I like doing lap 3 is because that's when the tires have come up to the temperature on lap 3 with the Cup car. So it's basically going to be should be your most optimal lap in the first part of the run. And as you can see, well, actually you can't see. Let's scroll up a little bit. As you can see, it's a 22.35. And then immediately I slow down to 6s and 5s. There's another 3 right here. But basically 5s, 6s, then to 7s and 8s, and then to 9s. And then when we get to the end of the run, we're running 23 3s. Forget that last lap, but 23 3s. So we've slowed down basically a second over this particular run, which is typical for Richmond. Uses a lot of tires with this particular car. Well, with any car, very abrasive. But you'll see that the lines are pretty similar as we go through this particular set of runs. So let's take a look-see at the lap here. We're going to head down the straightaway like we did, following obviously the wall, which is a curve, so you do need to follow that without hitting it. Here's my hash mark right here. Again, it's the second to last hash mark. We're going to use that to follow us into the corner. We're going to arc down into the corner here, and then right here we're going to cut and come across out of 2, and then down the straightaway. So very similar to a qualifying lap right there, specifically without getting as loose as we did in the qualifying lap. We're going to head down again. We're looking, here's our mark right there where we're hitting the brakes. Actually, with the race setup, I'm actually probably using this red square between the black and the first hash as my mark right there. Because again, I'm not trying to attack turn 3 as much as I did in qualifying. So brake down to the yellow line. And again, we're really down on the yellow line right here, staying down there. We're hitting the throttle. We're still staying down here as long as we can before we start to come up the racetrack, and then back to the start finish line. So again, keys, very similar to the qualifying lap. Just not attacking the corner as much as I did with the qualifying set. Obviously, the qualifying set turns a tad bit better than the race set does, because you can run a car tighter in qualifying than you can in the race. So let's go mid lap here and look at this one right here. Take a look, see here. You're going to see that basically right at that hash mark, we're going to slide down into the corner on a nice arc, and then we're going to turn right here and come off as straight as we can right here. You'll see that the car gets a little bit loose right there. That's typical Richmond. You got to run through that loose. We're going to come down here to probably right about here. Yep. And we're braking a little bit more here because we don't have as much right front tire. And you can see I'm a little bit high here in the corner. But as low as we can through 3 and 4, and then back on the gas again. Again, this is only about 0.3 slower than we just were. You know, the roll in the middle of the corner is probably where that tends to be the issue. So let's take a look here at the last lap. I don't think it's been a whole lot different. We're going to come down here. Again, right there at that slash on the wall. We're going to roll down. I'm actually a little bit higher. This is something that does happen as you get further in the run. You can run it, like I said, turns 1 and 2 is a very variable corner. So you can run a little bit higher in 1 and 2 and still do that cut off and save a little bit of tire. But again, basically the same lap. We're going to turn now and come off the corner, just like we've been doing. See that we're not full throttle right here. We're partial throttle till we're on the straightaway. Tires are going away, so you can't get right into the throttle again. This is closer to the black mark now. We're actually on the black mark when we're actually lifting on the backstretch. Again, tires are going away, so we can't attack the corner as we want. But we're floating down here, using trail brake down in here, floating down to the center of the corner, staying on that yellow line. You see I pick up the throttle, partial throttle till we're on the straightaway, and boom, down the straightaway we go. And that's Richmond. The laps don't really change all that much from lap to lap as the tires go away. You're basically backing up your corner a little bit and backing up your throttle on exit. And that is basically Richmond Raceway. Again, one of my top 2 favorite racetracks. Love this place. Not a lot of grip, a lot of sliding going on. A lot of fun for me. Hopefully it's fun for you. You know, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see everybody in the next video.